Yesterday, we started a short series which, inshallah ta'ala, will be spanning the next 20 to 30 minutes, inshallah. And we are looking at the series from this book, Ahi Kayfa Haluka Ma'al Quran. My brother, how is your relationship with the Quran? I want to be very sure that many of us have been reading the Quran since the beginning of Ramadan. I know some brothers are about to finish one complete Quran today. So it all depends how you want to join the race. وَفِي ذَلِكَ فَلْيَتَنَفَّسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. So let's compete. How many Quran are you going to finish in this Ramadan? Then if you are among those who has never even opened the Quran, you are losing. If you have never opened the Quran, you are losing. You don't have any excuse not to open the Quran. Don't say that I don't know how to read it. You can take it. Alhamdulillah, you have Android phone. So many things you can do with your Android phone. You understand? You can download an app, and while it is reading, it will show you how it is being read. You will be following it. It is actually a great loss if you are in the month of Ramadan, the month of Quran, and nothing join you with the Holy Quran. That is why we took this book, in order to sensitize ourselves regarding our relationship with the Quran. And mind you, our relationship with the Quran does not only end with reading it. It goes more than that, and that is what we are going to be learning from here. Today, inshallah ta'ala, yesterday we did the introduction. Today we move to the main book. He said, Al-Quran Sakil. Al-Quran Sakilun. The Quran is heavy. I didn't mean that heavy in the sense that you cannot carry it. It is mighty. That is what I mean. The Quran is not a newspaper. The Quran is so heavy. Let me give you an example. Don't you notice that when somebody is possessed with jinn and you recite the Quran upon the person, what happens? There will be ta'sir. There will be an effect. The Quran is heavy. Al-Quran Hudan. And Quran is also guidance. The guidance has been completed in the Quran. All you need to be guided is your roadmap to Jannah. And it will explain how the road will be for you to enter Jannah. Now he said, Ahil Muslim, oh my Muslim brother, Zalika huwa al-kitabu tahir. You see this Quran, it is a pure book. It is a pure book. La yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. So it is a pure book. That is why we call it a holy book. It is a holy book. Alladhi anzalahu Allah ta'ala, which Allah Azza wa Jalla revealed it. Ala nabiyhi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah revealed it upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He chooses the best man and he gave him the message of the Quran to deliver to the mankind. Why? What is the function of the Quran? لِيَكُونَ hujjatuhu alal alamin, so that it will serve as a hujjah, as a proof upon the generality of human being. Because if Allah Azza wa Jalla did not send guidance like the Quran, if Allah did not send the Quran, human being will have a reason to question Allah's justice on the day of Qiyamah. They will ask, why would Allah punish me when I don't have guidance? You understand? But now you have been given the guidance. You have been given the Google map to Jannah. Now you don't have any excuse. That is why you do not have excuse if you don't know how to read the Quran. Don't say that I am not an Arab. The Quran is not revealed for the Arabs. It is revealed for the generality of human beings. That is why he said, لِيَكُونَ هُجَّتُهُ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. He did not say عَلَى الْعَرَبِ. عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ, to the generality of human beings. And that is why Allah has made it very easy. وَنُورُهُ الَّذِي يَهْدِي بِهِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And it is a light which the Muslim guides their life with. The believers, they guide their life with the light of the Quran. It is a light. That is why when you see one who is with the Quran is possessor of light, you will see that the Quran is visible in his life. Except if he is a munafiq. فَهُوَ الْحَيَاةُ الْحَقِيقِيَّةُ, and it is a real life. وَالْهُدَى الْكَامِلِ, and it is a complete guidance, just like I have mentioned yesterday. Every other guidance has its limitation. But the Quran is the complete guidance. It teaches you everything. تِبْيَانْ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا مِّنْ أَمْرِنَا. He said, the same way we have revealed unto you, O Muhammad, Ruhan. There are so many names that Allah has given the Quran. One of the names is Ruh, because it is a spirit. It is a speech of Allah Azza wa Jalla. So one of the names that Allah has given the Quran is Ruh. That is why Allah said, Awhayna ilayka ruhan. Allah revealed the Ruh to you. The Ruh is the Quran. So if you are asked to mention the different types, different names of the Quran, we have the Quran, we have the Zikr, Tanzil. Mention others for me. Furqan, Kitab, Nam, and Nur. Then we also have Ruh. So Allah said that we have revealed unto you the Ruh, i.e. the Quran, min amrina, from our commands. Allah said, ma kunta tadri mal kitab. O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you do not know what is kitab. Remember, our prophet is al-ummi. Al-ummi does not mean an illiterate. It means one who can neither read nor write. Unlettered prophet. Do you understand? Because today when you said illiterate, it's insulting. So we cannot qualify our prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the teacher of mankind, to be an illiterate. It's like oxymoron. When you said he's an illiterate but he's a teacher, how can an illiterate teach? So our Prophet ﷺ is unlettered, al-ummi. Huwa alladhi ba'asa fil ummiyina rasulan. So he's an unlettered prophet. Ma kunta tadri mal kitab wala al-iman. You do not know what is the Quran before, neither do you know what is iman. Walakin ja'alnahu nuran. But we made it as nur. No, we said the Quran is also nur. So we made it as nur, a light. Nahdi bihi man nasha. And we guide with it whom we will, min ibadina, from our servants. Wa innaka latahdi ila siratin mustaqim. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, innaka, O you Muhammad, latahdi, you will guide. You will surely guide to the straight path. So one of the function of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is to guide us to the straight path. And that is why after the Quran, we have the Sunnah that explains the Quran. This is in Surah Shura, verse 52. Then he continued, he said, Ahi, oh my brother. Because the man is calling your attention. He said, oh my brother, Ataskuru kam marratan hamalta biyadika al-Quran al-Karim. He said, oh my brother, do you remember how many times you have hold this Quran? Can you remember how many times you have hold the glorious Quran? Can you remember? It is unfortunate if a Muslim live all his life and he read plenty books, but he never took his time to hold the Quran. To hold the Quran. I was in Lagos some years ago. I went to visit a relative, and we went for an event. You know the Owambe in Lagos now. So they were now sharing alcohol. I mean, they were giving alcohol to everybody to drink. So I said that I don't consume alcohol because I'm a Muslim. They say, hey, they turn it into yabe. They say, you be malam. So ask this your relative. The first time he came to Lagos, he was also a malam like you. But today ask him where is his Quran. And truly, when I check, he doesn't have Quran in the house. The only thing he has in the Quran he has in the house that shows that he's a Muslim is he has a calendar, one banner like that has Ayatul Kursi. You understand? So they have turned the Quran into a what? Decoration. Perhaps he thought that Ayatul Kursi will save him if problem wants to come. That is the only relationship he has with the Quran. This person, I said, will only pray only when he needs Allah. I mean, when he needs something that he is pursuing. That is when you will see him carry his tasbah to go and pray. And there are so many Muslims in this way. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He keep us guided. So he said that, Ahi, ataskuru marratan nazarta fi kitabi rabbika ta'ala. He said, oh my brother, do you remember how many times you have to see the Quran like this? Kuru. There's Muslims that don't even see the Quran. They live their life outside Islam. We need to call those Muslims back to the Quran. Unfortunately, we can discuss every matter, but when we come to discussion of the Quran, everybody is busy. Had it been I sit down here and I said that I want to discuss how to make million naira this morning, yes, subhanallah. You will see a lot of people want to hear, how am I going to make that? How are we going to make that million naira? Because we valued this word more than what will guide us to the hereafter. And that is why people do not value malams. Don't you see? Those kind of people do not value malams, but they value those people that teaches their children biology in the school. They value those people who will teach their children English language. But they do not value those people who will teach their children the Quran. Unfortunately, many of us are in this category. May Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He protect us. He said, Ahi ma sa'altuka hadhihi al-as'ila. He said, I did not ask you this question illa li'allaftuka ila tilka al-karama, except that I want to show you this karama, al-karamatu zahira, this clear honor, allati akramaka Allahu biha, which Allah has favored you with, Allah has honored you with. Allah has honored you. If you are among the people who can read the Quran, if you are among the people that a day cannot pass by except that you read the Quran, Allah has honored you. What is that honor? وَهِيَ تَيْسِيرُهُ عَلَيْكَ قِرَاءَةُ كِتَابِهِ الْعَزِيزِ. That is the honor of the fact that Allah has made it easy for you to be able to recite the mighty book of Allah. Remember, I said that this is not a daily newspaper. This is not a book authored by a human being. This is the speech of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And Allah has made it easy for you to be among those who can read the Quran, and you are reading it. It is a honor indeed. وَحِفْظِهِ. And Allah has also made it easy for you to memorize the Quran. Even if you do not memorize all of it, at least Allah has made it easy for you to memorize some part of it. Is it Juz Amma you are able to memorize? It is a honor. Even if it is not up to Juz Amma, but you are able to memorize some part of the Quran, it is a honor upon you. It is a honor that you are able to memorize from the mighty book of Allah Azza wa Jal. He said, Wa illa ahi malamma ataqatuhu qulub al-ibad. He said that, oh my brother, your heart wouldn't have been able for you to know. He wants to direct you to know how Allah has honored you for the fact that you can be able to read the Quran. He said your heart wouldn't have been able to carry the Quran. وَلَضَعُفَتْ أَنْ حَمْلُهُ أَجْسَامُهُ. He said even your body wouldn't have been able to carry the Quran. وَمِزْدَاقُ ذَلِكَ فِي كِتَابِ اللَّهِ. He said to confirm this is in the book of Allah. What I have been saying is written in the book of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah said in Surah Al-Hashr verse 21. What did He say? لَوْ أَنزَلْنَا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ عَلَى جَبَلٍ لَرَأَيْتَهُ خَاشِعًا مُتَصَدِّعًا مِنْ خَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Law anzalna, hadn't been we reveal Hazal Quran, this Quran, hadn't been we reveal it, ala jabalin, upon the mountain, hadn't been it is mountain we give the Quran. La ra'aytahu khashi'an mutasaddian min khashiyatillah. You would have seen that the mountain will humble, khashi'an. It will become fearful, it will become humble, mutasaddian, and it will get ruptured, it will get scattered. Why? Min khashiyatillah, as a result of the fear of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah Azza wa Jalla also mentioned in Surah Al-Ahzab, where Allah said, Inna aradna al-amanata ala samawati wal ard wal jibal. What happened? Fa'abayna an yahmilnaha wa ashfaqna minha wa hamalaha al-insan innahu kana zaluman jahula. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He gave this Quran upon the heaven and the earth and the jibal. What did they do? فَأَبَيْنَا أَنْ يَحْمِلْنَهَا. They refused to carry it. They refused to carry the body. وَأَشْفَقْنَا مِنْهَا. They were fearful of it because they are fearful that they will not be able to fulfill the interest of Allah. وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانِ. But human being accepted it. إِنَّهُ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. But human beings, they are oppressive and they are also ignorant. May Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He not allow us to have that kind of quality. Qala Imam al-Qurtubi. Imam al-Qurtubi, he said, rahimahullah, he said, فَأَيْنَ قُوَّةُ الْقُلُوبِ مِنْ قُوَّةِ الْجِبَالِ. Where is the strength of this our heart? Our heart, that, you know, if you see the heart of man, is very soft, right? Very feeble. He said, where is the power of the heart of man compared to the power of that of the mountain? وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ تَعَالَى رَزَقَ إِبَادَهُ مِنْ قُوَّةٍ مِنَ الْقُوَّةِ عَلَى حَمْلِهِ مَا شَاءَ أَنْ يَرْزُقَهُمْ فَضْلًا مِنْهُ وَرَحْمَةً. But Allah Azza wa Jalla, out of His favor, out of His mercy, He now blessed His servant with the power to be able to carry this Quran as He wills. So the one who carries the Quran is not an ordinary person. If you are one who Allah has blessed you to be able to read the Quran, and you are able to understand the meaning of the Quran, and you are reading the Quran all the time, you are a special being. You are a special being. Because the Quran is not just a book, it is spiritual. When you read it, there is that connection, spiritual connection between you and Allah Azza wa Jalla. He said, Ahi, oh my brother, tilka hiya al-karama. That is indeed a honor. Allati akramaka Allah ta'ala biha, which Allah has honored you. An ja'alaka mutiqan limutaliati kitabihi wa hifzi. The fact that Allah has made you to be able to revise His book and to memorize His book. So let us go back to be reading the Quran. Let us go back and put ourselves in karatu. Many of us, we think that we have come of age, we cannot do karatu again. Karatu is for small children. Who told you? Have you memorized the Quran? You have to continue to learn. In fact, you can never graduate from the Quran. You know, some children, after walima, they will not come to karatu again. So what am I coming to do? I don't do walima now. You only did walima because Allah has made it easy for you to be among those who can read the Quran from the beginning to the end. There are still more to learn as far as the Quran is concerned. What about the tafsir? What about the balagha? What about so many things that, hidden gems in the Quran, hidden treasures in the Quran? No one can be able to know everything, inside the Quran. You can only do your part. So there is no way you can graduate. Summa ma an'ama alayka bihi bayani laka tariqul hidayah. Then Allah now bless you again. Look at another blessing of Allah upon you, in the fact that He has made it easy for you to know its meaning. If you are one whom, when you take the Quran like this, you can be able to understand what the Quran is talking about. That is another ni'mah of Allah upon you. Great ni'mah. Some of us, When you don't have money, that is when you will not recognize the name of Allah. You think that Allah has not blessed you. What about the Quran that Allah has blessed you? Don't you see that when we come to Salat, is the person that knows how to read the Quran the most that leads the Salat? That is what the Prophet ﷺ said. That knows about the Quran the most, that is the person that leads the Salah. Did he say that the person that has money the most? Don't you see that our big men, they respect the people who are al-aramas? I mean, people who has the Quran. Don't you see? In spite of the fact they are rich, but when they meet our malams, they respect them. That is because Allah has honored you with what He has not honored them. In spite of the fact that they have the money, but they will be made to bow. They will be made to humble before you. Why? Because you have the Quran and they don't have it. I hope you understand. So Allah has made it easy for you to know its meaning, to clarify for you the tariqul hidayah, the path to guidance in it, wa tariqul dalala, and also the path of misguidance. Allah will tell you that this one is the road, is the good road. This one is bad road. Don't follow it. لِتَسْلُكُ طَرِيقُ الْأَوَّلِ, so that you will be able to follow the first part, which is the path of guidance. وَتَجْتَنِبُ طَرِيقُ الْأَهِيرِ, and so that you will avoid the other part. Quran will show you that look at the right part, look at the left part. Follow this right part, don't follow this left part. He said, Ahi fillahi, dhalika huwa ihsanullahu ta'ala ilayk. He said, oh my brother, this is a gift of Allah. This is from the kindness of Allah Azza wa Jalla to you. That Allah has made it easy for you to know the Quran. So if you are not among the people we have been talking about, Malam, try and enroll yourself in one of the lessons of the Quran. Tutali'uhu fi sabbahat wa masa'at. You are able to what? You are able to revise the Quran in the morning and in the evening. It is a blessing indeed. But فَهَلْ مِن مُعْتَبِرٍ فَهَلْ مِن مُتَفَكِّرٍ فَهَلْ مِن شَاكِرٍ لِنِّعَمِهِ تَبَارَكَ وَتَعَالَى. How many of us actually ponder over this issue? That whenever you are reading the Quran, how many of you feel that you are actually elevating yourself anytime you read the Quran? How many of us are thankful to Allah that Allah has made it easy for you to be among those who can be able to read the mighty book of Allah Azza wa Jalla? Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran, Ya ayyuhan nas, O mankind, qad ja'atkum maw'izatun min rabbikum. He said that the maw'izah, that is the admonition, that is the Quran again, maw'izah, another name. The maw'izah has come to you from your Lord. The Quran is also maw'izah because it contains what? Advices and what? Admonitions. Wa shifa'un, and the Quran is also shifa again. Another description of the Quran is what? Shifa. It is a shifa, it is a healing. That is why when you read the Quran, it heals your problem. It heals your problem. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Allah bi zikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. So when you read the Quran, you find that peace of mind. He said that it is a healing to that which is contained in the hearts. Wahudan, and it is a guide. Wa rahma, the Quran is also a rahma. Lil mu'minin, for those who are believers. But as for the disbelievers, it is a hujjah against them. Kul bi fadlillahi, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, say to them, O Muhammad, Kul bi fadlillah, by the virtue of Allah, by the favor of Allah, wa bi rahmatihi, and His mercy, fa bizalika, with that, faliyafrahu, you should celebrate. Huwa khayru mimma yajma'un, it is better than all that you have gathered. All these blessings of Allah is something to be celebrated. It is better than you gathering all the wealth. Surah to Yunus. He said, Ahi haqqan inna kitab rabbina ta'ala maw'iza wa shifa wa huda wa rahma. Indeed, the Quran, it is a maw'iza. It is an admonition. It is a healing. It is a guide. It is a mercy. Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran, Alif Lam Mim, Zalikal kitabu la rayba fihi hudan lil muttaqin. He said, Alif Lam Mim, Zalikal kitab. That is the book, the Quran. La rayba fihi. There is no doubt in it. Bimana, there is no doubt contained in this Quran. No contradiction, no interpolation contained in the Quran. In another meaning, la raiba fihi, meaning that there is no doubt that it is from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Hudan lil muttaqin, and it is a guide for those who are pious. May Allah make us among those who are pious. Qatada said, lastly, rahimahullah, he said, Ja'allahu Allahu hudan. Allah has made this Quran as hudan, as a guide. Wadiya, as also a light. Liman sadaqa bihi, for the one who is truthful to it. For the one who is truthful to it. But as for the munafiqun, it will not help them. You understand? Rather, it will be adding misguidance upon misguidance for them. Remember Allah Azza wa Jalla said, yudillu bihi kaseera wa yahdi bihi kaseera wa ma yudillu bihi illa al-fasiqin. So wa nurul muttaqin, and it is also a nur for those who are the pious. May Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He grant us taqwa. May we be among those who fear Allah Azza wa Jalla. Then he ended this particular paragraph. He said, oh my brother, hadanillahu wa iyyaka bi kitabihi al-aziz. May Allah guide me and guide you with this mighty book of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Wa nafa'ani wa iyyaka bi nurihi wa diya'ihi al-mubin. May Allah benefit me and benefit you with his light contained in this book, وَدِيَائِهِ الْمُبِينَ, and a very clear illuminating light that is contained in the Quran. Ameen. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He grant us companionship of the Quran. Let's go back and dust our Quran and start reading as from today if you have never started. If you have started, compete. فَسُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ وَبِحَمْدِكَ أَشْهَدُ أَنْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ أَسْتَغْفِرُكَ وَأَتُوبُ إِلَيْكَ. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.